All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very special video, and this is going to be how I replaced a $1,500 a month SEO agency with Openclaw. My most watched video by far was about how I use Claude bots to rank #1 on ChatGPT. You guys seem to love that, so I had to make this video. There's going to be no gatekeeping. I'm just going to show you exactly what I use, exactly what I did, and the exact prompts, the exact scripts, the exact apps that you can use to do the same. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into it. $1,800 a year. That's exactly what you might be paying an SEO agency for keyword research, technical SEO audits, content briefs, monthly visibility reports. But here's the problem. Agencies are built for humans, not speed. They're not like, autonomous robots that can be run 24/7 without sleep. Latency is baked in. You wait weeks for deliverables. The reports are infrequent, and they're a step behind when SEO and GEO, generative engine optimization, moves every so often. The tool stack is hidden. You can use the exact same tools that they use. And you can build your own system using Openclaw, some APIs, and a few hours of setup time, and get 5x the outputs automatically every week for tens of dollars in costs or less. Here's exactly how to do it, again, with the actual scripts, prompts, and apps that I use. All right. Now, there's going to be 5 components to really put all of this into action. We're going to go through each and every single one of them. I know that there's code here. Don't be afraid of that. This is code that you can give to Openclaw. It's going to be able to understand it. It's going to be able to input all your API keys. It's going to be able to set it up for you. This is just a template to give to Openclaw that it will be able to use. And also importantly, we're going to be using a pet dog store, like a Shopify website for this specific example. But this really works for any kind of website, any kind of business, any brand. And you're just going to have to input your own data when it comes to actually putting this into action. All right, so the first component here is going to be a keyword research engine. Okay, and what it's going to do every Monday, a cron job run by Openclaw is going to run this script. It's going to take 15 different keywords. Like in my case, I'm using buy dog toys, best dog beds, natural dog treats, kind of keywords that you want to optimize for. And it's going to expand it to 200 to 300 variations with the full data, including the cost per click and the volume. So the whole point of using this kind of keywords everywhere API is that you're able to access all of the Google search data to really understand what keywords are really going to move the needle. All right, it's a very well-known API. It has a credit-based system, and at our usage, we're going about $10 per month, but you could definitely do less than that if you want to lower down the volume. The script here, again, it's code, but don't stress out about it. Just give it to Openclaw. The key thing here is that you're going to need to replace or make sure that in your environment you have your keywords everywhere API key, and to make sure that your seed keywords are specific for your business and for your brand. And what it's going to do, it's going to get all that keyword data, it's going to get the related keywords, and it's going to run the script to give you all the top keywords by volume for that specific week. And the result is it's going to turn that small set of keywords into a larger list of related keywords with the real demand data sorted so you can see which ones are worth targeting that week. So this is great if you're thinking of running a blog post every single week or every single 2 weeks, or you're constantly trying to update your website with data. This is going to make sure that your keywords are really the best ones and the ones that you should optimize for. The amount of time saved, we're going to put this at around 4 hours per month, but it really depends on the usage. All right, moving on to component number 2. Now this one is going to be my favorite because if you know me, if you know this channel, you know that I constantly talk about AI LLM outreach as incredibly important. It is probably the greatest needle driver that you can possibly get in terms of AI SEO right now in the meta. And the tool that we're going to use is going to be Playwright. Playwright is a software that allows bots to access the web and use it like a regular user, plus ChatGPT or really any kind of LLM. So this applies to Gemini, it applies to Claude, it applies to any kind of LLM that you're trying to optimize for. And so the price varies. If you're targeting all the different LLM providers like Grok, Perplexity, Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT, it's going to set you back a bit. But every week, this agent is going to run a scripted outreach flow. Okay, so it's going to act like a regular user. It's going to go into the chat interface. It's going to open up an LLM session. It's going to ask it about a target store / category, your target store, and it's going to feed the model context about your brand. And what this is going to do, it's going to create repeated discovery events around your business and increase your score relative to other businesses on that LLM platform. Now, I've made a couple of videos going in depth into how this works. The exact mechanism is called prompt signal indexing, PSI, but I'm not going to go that deep in this video. If you are interested, definitely check out the Claude video that I made, which is going to be linked in the description below. The script here is going to be specific for ChatGPT, and obviously the store is going to be specific to the website that we're using for this example. But you can see here, I have all the different categories about my store, my name, my domain, my niche, the customer, the positioning, so how I want to position this for the AI LLM, and all the different products, okay? Now, again, this is just kind of an example, but you can actually specify the examples of the prompts that you're going to use, all right? And it's going to build an entire context block around that information. And what's not included inside this code block is you can actually ask Openclaw to switch it up a bit. So it's going to switch it up a bit. It's going to ask it different questions about your business. The script that we use or that we see being used in a software like LinkGPT is quite expansive. So the AI will literally, switch up the questions. It'll make sure to click on the link. It'll make sure to ask more and more questions to expand that signal and over time. But this is just an example that you can kind of expand and kind of create with Openclaw yourself. So you can see it's accessing Chromium with Playwright. It's checking for links. So it's checking if a link is provided. If it provides a link, it's going to click on that to increase your signal, exactly how search engines work, same way that chat engines work. And it's going to basically run the outreach. It's going to wait for ChatGPT or whatever the LLM is to come back with info. It's going to follow up with it. It's going to do all that. And again, I will be honest with you, this is just kind of a template, but you can talk to Openclaw, you can talk to ChatGPT or Cursor and really expand this for your use case. And again, the sample output, you're going to send a prompt, like what are some of the best online stores for durable dog toys and collars? The model is going to respond with a few. It's going to check for your site. Or maybe perhaps it doesn't find your site and it's going to follow up with, oh, what about Paw Peak Pets, which is the example here. Can you give me some more information about that? The LLM is going to go in, it's going to find information about that, it's going to store it in memory, and then it's going to respond and follow up and then click on the link. And this done over a week, over several days, over months is going to really increase the signal of that store, okay? So the result is you create repeated, constant AI discovery events for your store by asking about your brand, making sure to click on the link and giving the model more context to make sure that you rank higher on that specific LLM platform. So you do this for ChatGPT, you do this for Claude. It's going to work. Now, again, I do know that this is technically intensive for a lot of you. If you don't really have coding experience, this can seem, really, really difficult. What I will say is, if you have a Shopify store, just use an app called LinkGPT. Full disclosure, this is my app. It's built really specifically for this purpose, basically getting your store ranked higher on AI SEO, like ChatGPT, like Claude, like all of the different LLMs. It's only about $10 per month, so it's probably much cheaper than you doing this yourself. And so yeah, if I had a recommendation, I would say just install this app and use it because it's going to give you everything that you need, all right? But in case you wanted to do this yourself, the kind of template script is here and you can expand it. So I just kind of wanted to give you that ability to do it yourself if you so wanted. But again, there's really nothing more powerful than AI LLM outreach. So if there's one component to take from this, I would say it's this one. This is the most powerful one. All right, so component number 3, this is going to be a fun one, and it's going to be competitor backlink intelligence. And what it's going to do, it's going to track your competitors. So let's say 5 competitors every single week. This script is going to pull all their newest backlinks and find opportunities for you to pitch perhaps the same site, to instead take away their backlink or insert yourself into that situation, right? So it's basically a way for you to track competitors and to find opportunities where perhaps you can really boost your own store by pitching the same site with your own info. So you make sure that you have eyes on them at all times. And the tool that we're going to be using for this is going to be Data for SEO. Let me know in the comments if anybody is familiar with this API or really any of these tools that I mentioned. But it's basically an API with a bunch of proprietary data and data about different backlinks and SEOs. In our kind of use case, we're spending about $20 a month, but of course it's dependent on your usage. And again, note the API key here. You're gonna go ahead and ask Openclaw to put in that API key to make sure everything is set up for you. You're gonna put in your specific competitors, and you're going to get all of their different backlinks through this API. And the sample output that you'll get is basically, for example, for a competitor like rover.com, you're going to see that they are using this specific URL. And then what you can do is you can take this URL, you can take the info of whoever is giving them that backlink, and you can basically pitch them your business. So when a competing pet brand gets featured on a strong dog or pet content site, we're going to be able to find out fast and pitch that same site with our own angle to make sure that, we're always one step ahead. All right. The time saved for this, we'll put it at around 7 hours per month, but again, it's dependent on usage. Now getting into component number 4. This is going to be an IndexNow submission engine. Now what is IndexNow? IndexNow is an API. It's basically free. You're not going to be paying for it. And it's used to submit any kind of new updated information directly to the web crawlers so that you don't have to wait days or whatever amount of time it's going to take for those crawlers to actually access that information and to index everything. So it's basically a way to make sure that whenever you have a product that's created or updated or removed or any kind of change in your blog posts or anything at all, the script is automatically going to submit the affected URLs to IndexNow, so search engines and downstream systems can discover those changes faster. So this is an SEO boost and an AI SEO boost. It's also very important for AI web crawlers. And the script, you're basically going to get your IndexNow key. You're going to make sure all your store information is set up correctly. And then you're going to make sure that a webhook is applied to, let's say, your products or your different collections. So in this example, again, we're using a Shopify store. And any single time there's a change, we're just going to push that information directly to IndexNow. So in this case, you can see here, any kind of change with the product, we're going to push that. Any kind of change with the collections in terms of dog toys, dog collars, you are going to be able to push that. And you can easily ask Openclaw to extend this logic for things like blog posts or site changes. Again, using webhooks that are supplied from Shopify, or if you're on a website, any kind of changes in your website. You can just create a hook that sends it through to IndexNow. And the result is exactly how you would expect. You're just going to submit all those different URLs to IndexNow. So you can see here, I've updated 4 products. I submit those 4 products immediately to IndexNow. I've also updated 2 collections. That's submitted immediately to IndexNow with all the updated information, any kind of changes in descriptions, any changes in price. It's going to know all of that immediately, and it's going to make sure that that's indexed. So that's the result. Search engines can get updates immediately, and so do AI web crawlers. Now, again, setting this up is kind of a pain, but if you have a Shopify store, again, I'm just gonna link GPT. Again, it does all of that for you on autopilot, so you don't really have to worry about it. So definitely check it out. It's kind of another bonus you can get for $10 a month, alongside all the other things you get, like an AI visibility score, LLMs.txt customization, and so on and so on. Okay, I'm not gonna pitch my app anymore. Just wanted to let you know that that exists. All right, and finally, component number 5 is going to be a content brief generator. The tool that we're going to use here is called Serper. It's also an API, and it accesses all of the Google search results that you need. So I'll show you exactly how that works. You basically have a keyword. Remember, we got the keyword from component number 1 here, you can see we got all of the top keywords, right? So you can take dog toys here, which is clearly the top result. And what you can do is just input that into Serper API through this script. So you ask Openclaw, take the top result from the keyword research generator, put it into here, and get the top 10 Google results for this specific keyword. Serper is going to give you all of those results. You're going to then ask it to analyze these and create a brief with recommended title options, target word count, search intent, the outline with the H1, the H2, the H3s, any kind of sections that competitors have, 2 to 3 sections competitors are missing, all the different topics to cover, and any internal linking opportunities. So this is going to be a huge one. And of course, any kind of competitor gaps. All right. You're going to give all of this information to Openclaw using, let's say, the Claude API, but you can also use OpenAI for this, right? Whatever you prefer. Personally, I'm preferring Claude these days. And using these Serper results, you're going to be able to create a brief that you can basically create a blog post with. And the sample output, in our case, we get dog toys. The target word count is going to be around 2,400 words. The search intent, commercial and educational, and you're going to see the exact outline with the H1, the H2s, and any kind of competitor gaps. And you can, of course, ask Openclaw to expand it and even write it out for you on demand, automatically every week. Super powerful, and you can kind of see how all of these components come together and work together inside of a holistic system that is much more powerful than any single SEO agency could provide, and also much faster, right? You basically get 5x the outputs, and it's all your own system. It's all something that you own. It's all something that runs 24/7 automatically every single week. So this entire system is incredibly powerful, and I can guarantee you it's a much better spend of money. It's a much better use of time than paying some SEO agency $1,500 a month. Why would you do that in today's day and age of AI, right? So I really hope that you watched the whole video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you do like and subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have any questions, or just because it really does help grow the channel. And let me know what you think about these kind of more in-depth, more technical videos. I love making videos like this because I myself am a software developer now for over 5 years. I love the technicality or the technicalities you can kind of get into with these kind of tools. I love how powerful they can get if you know how to use them. And yeah, if you want the exact kind of Miro board, I'm going to link it below in the description. I'm also going to link my Claudebot video to kind of go in depth on prompt signal indexing if you're curious about AI LLM outreach. And I'll also link, of course, LinkGPT, my own tool, which I developed for Shopify stores to make sure that you're able to upgrade your store and get seen and rank higher on AI search engines. So that's going to be it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.